Man forgets password to $225 million Bitcoin fortune. Hello everyone and welcome back to Top Money. How many times have you forgotten passwords to your social media accounts? Probably a few times. This always happens to everyone. But what would you do if you forget the password to your $225 million Bitcoin account? Could you forgive yourself? So Stephen Thomas didn't think it would happen to him, but he literally lost access to his $225 million fortune. 10 years ago when he bought Bitcoin, he misplaced the password. Now he has used 8 of his 10 login attempts before the account locks him out of his treasure forever. Today we're going to be talking about the man who forgot the password to his wealth and how it actually happened. Wait until the end to hear exactly what he said about it in his interviews. Before we get into the video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button so YouTube shows this video to more people. The idea behind Bitcoin was introduced to the world on October 31st, 2008, at the depth of the financial crisis by a pseudonymous person called Satoshi Nakamoto. The digital cryptocurrency has seen a lot of action in its fairly short life. Bitcoins initially traded for next to nothing. The first real price increase occurred in July 2010, when the valuation of a Bitcoin went from around $0.0008 to $0.08 for a single coin. The currency has seen some major rallies and crashes since then. Interest in Bitcoin is surging in 2021, as it has regained its losses and pushed past its previous all-time high. Bitcoin has now surpassed its last all-time high of $31,500. There are currently more than 18.5 million Bitcoins in circulation, and it now has a market capitalization of over $736.3 billion. The currency is based upon a blockchain that contains a public ledger of all the transactions in the Bitcoin network. Those participating in the currency can mine for Bitcoins using computer power. How fast Bitcoin started to grow is absolutely incredible. Prices rose steadily over the year, starting out at 7,200 on January 1st, 2020, and closing at 18,353 on November 23rd. That's an increase of roughly 155%. Bitcoin then took off even further, as institutions began to recognize it as a store of value during the rapidly increasing inflation of the dollar from COVID-19 stimulus spending. Bitcoin's price reached a peak of just under $24,000 in December 2020, giving it a year-to-date increase of 224% and an all-time history increase of nearly 500,000%. And now we can witness Bitcoin being over $41,000, which is absolutely unbelievable. According to Cathie Wood, ARK Investment Management CEO, said she believes more companies will load their balance sheets up with Bitcoin. In a Saturday interview with Yahoo Finance, the exchange-traded ETF magnate and outspoken Bitcoin advocate said large companies have asked her if they should follow Square, Inc.'s lead. Square is one of the few public companies to invest in Bitcoin as an inflation hedging strategy. I think we're going to hear about more companies putting this hedge on their balance sheet, she said, particularly to companies who understand the technology and are comfortable with it. Her prognostications have yielded returns faster than ARK's upcoming space ETF. On Monday, Bitcoin miner Marathon Paying Group bought $150 million in Bitcoin. The company is by its nature perhaps best suited to understand the nuances of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. She also said she believes that Bitcoin has all the chances to rise from the current price ratio to $500,000. Moreover, Cathie Wood is not the only one who thinks and believes that Bitcoin is going to rise to $500,000 very soon. According to Jeremy Liu, a partner at Lightspeed Ventures Partners, Bitcoin could reach $500,000 per coin in 2030. So all we can do is to wait and understand whether the Bitcoin is going to cost $500,000. So just imagine how it feels to forget the password and never have access to your fortune again. Stephen Thomas believed in the digital currency Bitcoin right from the start, when it cost just $2. Thomas, a programmer who was born in Germany, confessed he was an early Bitcoin fanatic after making a video titled "What is Bitcoin?" that explained the ins and outs of the cryptocurrency. In 2011, he successfully invested in it, and today Bitcoin sells for $35,000 per Bitcoin, leaving Thomas with a $225 million fortune. The only problem, he can't remember the password to access his digital wallet. I tried everything. I would stay up all night trying different ideas for how to recover it, or just like staring at the ceiling for hours. This is so sad, but Stephen Thomas's 7,002 Bitcoin, which equates to nearly $250 million, have been out of his grasp since 2012. This is so difficult to imagine. How does it feel to lose a fortune? But those 9 years have given Thomas enough time to process the potential loss. And while he said because time heals all wounds, the moments he first realized he couldn't access his cryptocurrency account were harrowing, to say the least. And of course, all of us would feel the same if we didn't have access to that amount of money. Unless Thomas finds a way to reconstruct the password, he can say goodbye to that huge sum. The German entrepreneur lives in Silicon Valley where he runs the company Coil. He earned his first bitcoins as a payment for a job back in 2011. There were sort of a couple weeks where I was just desperate. I don't have any other word to describe it, Thomas told. You sort of question your own self-worth. What kind of person loses something that important? Thomas said he used up 8 of his 10 tries to get the password right. Having lost the paper, he wrote it down on 2012, and people around the world have tried to help him out. IronKey allows only 10 attempts to unlock it through the right password. If the owner of the device fails to put in the right password in these attempts, the device encrypts itself forever, with no chance to access it ever again. So many people tried to help Thomas to remember the password. One person suggested trying the word password, but it didn't work. There were really many various ideas how to remember the password. Some people have recommended various mediums, psychics, prophets that he could talk to. Some people are suggesting nootropic memory-enhancing drugs, but none of the methods worked. Hundreds of people have written to me expressing their sympathy. That made me very happy. I was amazed that so many people could identify with my story. Many told me about their own lost bitcoins or safe combinations. There was even someone who could no longer find his numbered Swiss bank account, and I've received all kinds of bizarre offers. Several people with so-called channeling abilities contacted me, and also a prophet from Croatia. On the other hand, there were also some technology experts and data recovery companies who offered me support. Eventually, Thomas reached a really big milestone in his life, where he realized how he was going to define his self-worth going forward. It wasn't going to be about how much money I have in my bank account. I would just lay in bed and think about it, he told the publication, and his attempts to log back into his digital wallet. But as the time went through, Thomas eventually realized that he's got nothing to do about the situation, and it's just better to move on. After a few weeks, there came a point where I said to myself, you cannot throw your whole life away because of this loss, it must go on. So I went back to doing what I really wanted, and what had always motivated me was to write software that helps people. I threw myself back into programming. When I had a permanent job again, I bought new bitcoins. I still have them today. It's really incredible how Thomas moved on from the situation, and how he learned a serious lesson. I think that as a practical matter for most people, it's probably better to hold their bitcoins with a custodian, like an institution that specializes in securing and storing bitcoins. What do you think about the whole situation? What would you do if you were Thomas? Do you have any ideas what can help Thomas to remember the password? Let me know in the comment section below, and while you're here, don't forget to check out these other great videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.